D.
Hello?
Yeah. What's up?
Oh, wow, that's crazy. How's it going?
What's crazy?
Oh, I guess I didn't expect to be accepted that quickly.
There's a loco in here, bro.
How's it going, man?
Great, dude. It's loco, though.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
I'm fluent. It's not really. So I just had a question about your views on creationism and evolution. And I've heard in clips from you before, and if that's okay, if that's a topic you're willing to speak about, I guess.
The topics are pretty much anything. I don't believe in macro evolution. I'm a skeptic of that.
Okay. And one of the things I've heard you say is based on the underdetermination of data.
Underdetermination.
Or underdetermination of data, sorry. And I guess what you reference in that is that the data can be interpreted either way, if I'm understanding that correctly.
Yeah, that's a topic in the philosophy of science that has to do with the fact that multiple paradigms can interpret raw data accurately and sufficiently. So raw data itself can't necessarily tell you which is the right paradigm.
Right. And I guess wouldn't a prerequisite of that be that the creationist paradigm explains the raw data sufficiently?
Well, the point is that you could conceivably have in both paradigms explanations for, endogenous retroviruses. Both a creation account and a evolutionary account can say why we see something like this, or why we see similarity in DNA between a human and a chimp and a lizard. So both models can explain that. And so the point is that in most of the evolutionary or scientism dominated paradigms, they think of these. Hold on a second. They think of the data being able to tell you which paradigm is true, and it doesn't. So the point is more than just that. The creationist account can account for the similarity in the design of different beings.
And when you say account for or explain, are you using a scientific definition to consider that, or
No,
how are you defining
again, it's a
account
question
for?
of epistemology, meaning justification in a broader sense. So I'm using the philosophical term in epistemology for how we account for our paradigms, our worldviews, our presuppositions, our axioms.
Okay.
Philosophy of science is its own discipline. If you take some philosophy courses or epistemology classes, you'll get into what's called a niche discipline called philosophy of science. And that's where this underdetermination of data thesis comes from.
Okay. And I guess, philosophy of science, but when you get down to actual science, wouldn't there be requisites to being what can be adequately explained by a particular model or another?
Science, in terms of empirical sense data, cannot tell you what paradigm model is correct because it goes beyond the purview of scientific empirical sense data. That's a very limited tool.
So science can't tell us what's wrong and right, so you think that it can't tell us
whether
the
Earth is... You don't hear what I just said? So you're just making assumptions. You didn't listen to what I said. I said
okay, I apologize.
Scientific
I'll listen again.
data is limited as empirical sense data and can't
Correct.
tell you what paradigm or worldview is correct.
Right. A worldview would be a separate topic because a worldview could be a misinterpretation as well, correct? Like, wouldn't you have to... The worldview that, whether there is or isn't a God wouldn't necessarily be tied to whether there is or isn't evolution, or the Earth is or isn't flat.
You're not understanding what we're talking about here. I'm talking about a domain of philosophy called epistemology, and you continue to think of it in the realm of scientific experimentation. I'm saying that epistemology is prior to that because it's asking more fundamental, broader questions about how science is possible. That's the issue at root that is being debated, not whether or not we do science or whether or not science can tell us facts about the natural world. I'm saying that science is like a tool but a tool can't tell you where the universe came from or where even the tool came from. The tool has a use, but it's limited in the scope of what it can tell you. So the scientific method, for example, can't tell you how we got the scientific method or whether the scientific method is reliable.
Well, that would be a separate question, yes, but I think the scientific method would be demonstrated as reliable by the fact that you use it in everyday life. Again, and it makes accurate predictions.
You should take an epistemology class, because you're just stating sort of basic stuff that is not even, you're missing the point of what we're asking. The fact that you use something is not.
Well, I have taken an epistemology class.
No, you haven't.
I have.
I can tell by what you're saying that you haven't, or you didn't listen. You slept through it.
Okay, I mean that's fair. I mean, it seems
if you had, you would understand the difference.
Avoiding it. This seems like a way of you trying to avoid the fact that you have.
No, you literally don't understand what I'm saying. Forward. You want it to sound smart on the stream, and you're not aware of the basics, and so you don't even know what I'm talking about. Tell me what justified true belief is.
I was actually just coming.
What is justified true belief?
Can I ask you a question
What
first?
Is justified true belief?
Can I ask you
what is justified true belief?
A justified true belief, I would say, is a belief that is demonstrably and repeatably true.
No, that's not what justified true belief means.
Okay,
if you had that would be the first. If you had an epistemology class, that would be the first thing that you would learn, because that's what you learn early on in epistemology classes.
Okay, well, I've taken one. It was a while ago.
Okay, how are you not aware of the basics?
Well, I mean, I don't know, because it was 12 years ago.
Okay.
I don't do this every day like you, Jay. I'm honestly trying to have a conversation with you. I'd like to ask you one question.
I'm slowly and precisely answering and working through every question that you ask, and then you insert the insult that I'm trying to avoid the questions that you're asking. That's what pisses me off. Why would I be spending my time sitting here answering precisely your questions and delineating the difference between a theory and a scientific thesis and a paradigm if I'm trying to get away from your questions?
Okay, I didn't mean it as an insult, and I'm sorry if I upset you. I really am not. I honestly had seen some of your videos, and I was coming to ask, because when you say that one of the paradigms, both paradigms can adequately explain the raw data, I don't understand that. So I was coming to ask what you see from a creationist perspective that would explain any of the data we see.
So
that's what I was coming to ask.
Let me give you an example. So if I have a creationist model, if God created all the beings in his image, and primarily man in his image, and then the created order has a single origin, a single creator, that's one reason why we would see similarity between the DNA of a human and a chimpanzee, right? Let me finish. The evolutionary model also says that I can explain the similarity, and that's because they have a common descent and line of origin. So both of those explanations explain. I know you don't like one better than the other, but they both have explanatory power. So you're misunderstanding that underdetermination of data just simply means that you can't just get more raw data, because it's not going to tell you which paradigm is correct, because both can have explanatory power for the same data. That's all it means. It's not saying that Christianity is true because of underdetermination of data thesis. I never said that. It's just simply saying that the data itself requires a theory, and data is theory laden. That's all it means.
Okay. And so just to respond what you said, and then I'll be done unless you have a follow-up. So what you just said was, that's not a scientific explanation. It sounds in a 2-second bit like, oh, well, they have the same creator. Again,
so you don't even understand the basics. You don't even understand the basics, because it's so stupid, man. Honestly, what you're saying is so dumb, man. I'm struggling. I've been very patient, and it's like,
yeah, you don't
at
like
a certain
disagreement.
point. So, I mean, you don't even understand what are the basics of philosophy of science and why that's prior to the doing of science. And we can make this really simple, really quick. How do you know the scientific method is true?
because you test it, and if you can make
How do you test the
predictions
method
that have-
itself? The method itself.
You make predictions, and they have explanatory power.
The
How do I
method
know that a
itself.
pen-
You
how
don't
do
even
I know
understand.
that a-
You can't even understand the question I'm asking you. You think I'm asking you if we do science and if science predicts things. I'm asking you a higher order question. The method itself, the scientific method
Right.
itself. Is that under a microscope?
No, it's a logical principle.
Oh, it's a logical principle. Is
Yeah.
logic found under a microscope?
No, it's not.
Oh, so you believe in
Did I-
things that you can't see.
I do believe in thought. Yes,
Oh, so logic is thought?
yes, it is.
Logic is thought. So the scientific
it's a way of
method.
it's a way of describing thought. Yes.
So scientific method is only in your head.
What do you think? It's like floating around or something?
Okay, right. So the scientific method is only in your head. Good job, dude. This is why it's impossible to talk to people who are extremely confident in their ignorance. Aitley, what's up, man? He didn't even realize that he was walking right into the most ridiculous, easy trap, affirming that the scientific method is thought and is in his head. Then you can't prove, test it, or verify it if it's only in your head. And if you're a materialist, then what's in your head is just random neurons firing, and it's not even actually a method. It's like a dream. Amazing.